Hello, long time no see. It's been, I believe, Elaine told me 4 weeks since I uploaded a video to this channel. Yeah, there has been unfinished projects going on, and you're going to get a couple of videos from me about them. Well, you're going to get one, and then this one. This one is spinning, and I did start this over at the other channel where I talked about the fleece that I was sent from the Faroe Islands at least 10 years ago from my friend Olivar. We're now going to be traveling to Olivar. So I'm hoping to have coffee at least with him while I'm there. I may have to ditch my colleagues or my fellow boat riders, but I think meeting up with friends is worth it. What I am doing is spinning because today is a really good spinning day. It's raining outside. Summer is done, at least for this week. And I'm going to give you a little insert of footage here of the rain. Even though I think it's stopped, it's just wet now. It was really pretty for a while. Not that I like rain, but it was pretty for a while from the inside. So I'm spinning up. I have to get through today my second spool. So here's my first spool. I'm going to show you my first spool. Here's my first spool of Faroese ply. I'm doing a second one so that I can ply it together and make a stronger hat. I'm going to knit him up a hat, probably with cables, but I also may pull a little PCC skein of yarn and maybe knit the two together with some color work. Don't know. It's kind of cool to think about, right? To have some local yarn from my college and some local yarn from his sheep together in one hat. So I may do that. Haven't decided yet. Right now, I'm just getting through the yarn. I can take it with me, but I can't if it's not spun. So what I did is, I'm gonna put my hook down. What I did is I picked out all of the hair, and I also carded this twice on a drum carder. Now, I did not get all the hair. As you can see, there's some in here, but it's still way softer than it was before, and it would have been if I'd left the hair in. The other thing I should have done is probably carded it 3 or 4 times instead of 2, but I was on a time crunch. But see these bits of short stuff in here? They're still in, and it's vegetable matter. When I spin this, I end up with a lap full of vegetable matter. That's normal. It's always happened on fleeces that I have prepared myself. The consequence to these little bits of short is you get little, well, of course I've done a good job on this, you get little lumps of thick and thin. Do you see that? I don't mind that at all. I go through, and as it comes in front of me, if I see one that's really obvious, I may pick it off. And while it's spinning in, I just reach out with my right hand and pluck that short one out. The other thing I can do is, as it's coming off my lap in the bat, right here, is I can go through, hang on, I'm getting this back on the spindle. As it's coming through my lap and I hit a piece of short, as you can see, there's one right there, I will pluck it out before it gets taken up on my spinning process. Not perfect. This is going to be a rustic wool. I personally like a rustic wool, and even the PCC yarn that has been done at the mill has vegetable matter in it. It's not, they get all the shorts out, or most of the shorts out, but I don't care. I don't mind at all. As long as I get the biggest ones out, I'm fine with that. And honestly, I don't even care about the big ones. It's a nice rustic hat, or it will be a nice rustic hat that I have no idea what it's going to be yet, but I'll get there. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. If you know anything about the Faroe Islands that would give me an idea, or Portland that I could put into that hat somehow, I'm trying to work on it. Don't know what that yet, but I also have time. The Faroe Islands is our 3rd stop on the cruise. Well, our fourth stop completely, because we start in Oslo. And I'm also already have 2 weeks before we even go on the cruise at David's mother's house, which hopefully she won't need much of our help, but I am prepared for that. And then perhaps a weekend up in York and a day in Manchester. So we're trepsing around all over the place. But this is what I'm working on. I'm going to give you a little footage of my spinning. I will also pop in and give you some more plying, and maybe some, not rain, a little picture of outside. whenever it starts to squeak, I have to oil. I have two main spots on that. Right here, wherever the leather is. There. Back. Not too much. This is a great little oiling stick with a pin holder on it. I really like these. And you can get them here. I don't know if we've got them up online yet, but we do have them. So just let me know and I'll make sure we get them online. Whoop. Oop. A little oil flew there. Let's take it up better. I had to take up perfect, which is take up means that it's the bobbin taking up the stuff I've spun. But oop. Oh, a little too much. Going on here. So I've had to adjust it when I filled about half a bobbin. There we go. A bit short. I think this bat is quite full of short ones. It must have been one of the last ones I did. So I'm hitting a lot of short pieces. Hoping to get this done today, this bobbin done today, and then maybe even plied tonight, and then this will be ready to go. I can put it on the niddynoddy and get it wet and set the twist, whack it, and then I'll be ready to take this on the cruise to do the knitting that needs happening. I'm looking at you periodically to check to see that the video's going. I don't know if anybody's talked to you about this or if you're a spinner, but the way you spin is you keep your fingers firmly in the front, and then your back hand does all the heavy lifting. It does the prepping of the bat before it goes into the machine, into the wheel. The finger is the thing that kind of controls the draw of the yarn, but also makes sure that it's twisted enough before you pull it in. Now, I am no expert spinner. I don't do fancy plies. I don't do fancy plies or fancy spinning. What I get is what I get. And on this Symphony, which I do highly, highly recommend. I used to have a Kromsky Sonata, and beautiful wheel, great for a first timer, but the Symphony, you can, if you like fingering weight or DK weight, a Symphony makes it just easy as pie. There's something about the double drive that is beautiful. Now, the Symphony also can be a Scotch tensioner. I've never used it as a Scotch tensioned wheel. I've always used it as a double drive. So we're getting this. I do believe this will be about a DK. Maybe large on the large side of fingering, but probably a DK. What I've been doing today is watching 1960s movies. There's a ton of them on Netflix that you can access. And so for the last few days, I watched a series of Doris Day movies. Courtship of Eddie's Father, I highly recommend that one. That one's a 1964 movie. Not the series, although I think I've noticed that the series is on here, and I used to watch that as a kid. So I may pull it up just to see if I remember it the same as it was. And then I've watched, I think it's called Jane, The Problem with Jane, or I'll put links up below to the movies I've watched because they're so good. One was Doris Day, who had a lobster business up in Maine, and the train guy was a jerk and rotted all of her lobster, and so she took him to court. And it was all about the argument getting her due course payment for what he ruined for her because of his sort of meanness. And then now I'm watching one that I'll have to look it up, but basically they discuss this poetry professor in San Francisco who works at a university and hates the science department has discovered that his son is a mathematical prodigy. Now, there are flaws. Like, they define mathematical prodigy as somebody who can calculate fast. That's not exactly how one would define a mathematical prodigy, but it's all about the dilemma this father has, who hates math and science, and how to deal with his son, who clearly likes it and is good at it. And the kid is not good at the music, they decided. So it's a good movie. Not as good as Courtship of Eddie's Father, and not as good as The Trouble with Jane. I think that's what it was. To Catch a Thief is on my list. That one I started to watch, but I moved to a more lighter Doris Day movie instead. Please Don't Eat the Daisies is another good one I watched years ago, and I'd like to see that one again. I'll have to look to see if it's on the computer, if it's on YouTube. I can also, we got rid of Netflix, so my choices are YouTube or Amazon right now. I also have a British channel that we pay for that I really should watch more, but I haven't. So I'm spinning along. As soon as I finish this bobbin, and you may not be getting great light, I hope you are. As soon as I fill up this bobbin, I will ply them, and I'll pop back and show you how I ply them. The key to plying is you turn the wheel the opposite direction. So I am not normal, I'm a lefty, so I always spin with my wheel going to the right. So when I ply, I am going to be spinning my wheel to the left. I don't know if that's normal or not. I often find out that what I do isn't normal, but it doesn't matter if it's normal like what most people do. What matters is that they are not the same, because you want them to unply just a little bit and join into each other and become a unified 2-ply yarn. So that's the plan with this. It's on my list today. I also have to get some shipping out to Kelly and to some customers. I'm putting it off. It shouldn't be. Gotta get some shipping out. And then I have to go pick up a Japanese wooden doll. I'll show you my Japanese wooden doll collection someday and talk about how they're made and why I like them so much. And then, what else do I have to do? Oh, start packing. I have been doing laundry. I started laundry this morning. Oh, and yesterday we went and got our flu shot. Did I tell you this already? I don't remember. I might have to edit this. But, man, oh man, I'm sore. I don't usually have this much of a reaction to the flu shot. So my arm's sore, and that is absolutely normal. But I have malaise. Last night we were looking at the side effects to the flu shot, and one of them was malaise. And guess what? I have malaise today. Basically, I feel slightly fevery, and I feel kind of like I've got the flu, but not bad, right? I've got a wimpy case of the flu right now, which is pretty normal, I think, for flu shots. I've just never had to deal with it. I usually went to work right afterwards and worked the next day, and I was fine. So, I don't know if you can see that, but when I picked this, there was a lot of vegetable matter. And even spinning it, there's more. Either short hairs and just dirt. Dirt from the Faroese hills. So, I've just finished with my last bobbin. I'm going to use the third one. Ooh, and I'm going to have to find another one somewhere to ply this together. So this has got to come off. And in order to get it off, I've got to drop my tension so that I can get the bobbin off. See, these are now slack, so that means I'm getting ready. There. And then pull those off. Pull both of my strings off. And then up from the front and out from the back. And now I have to unscrew the whorl. This whorl. It has to come off. The bobbin comes off. And I'm going to put it on my Lazy Kate. This machine has a built-in Lazy Kate. So then my new bobbin goes on, and all that dust. The whorl goes back on. Come on. Oh, maybe I'm spinning. Yeah, I'm spinning it the wrong way. back on, and then back in to this and this. And then I have to get one strand of my double drive onto the bobbin itself. That's going to come over in there. And the other one goes onto the whirl, and I've been putting it on the small whirl. And then I tighten up my tension again until my my drive band is tight. It's going to be a while. I hope I'm doing this right. Yeah, I'm doing it the right direction. Well, I might move this. Actually, I don't need this to be. I'm plying this. I don't want this on the small whirl thing. We want this to go up faster. So I'm going to pull it down and put it on the big one. All right. Nice and tight. Going to re-oil both of my leather parts. So right around this piece of leather and in the back, so it doesn't squeak. Always oil. Oiling is very important. All right, and then what I'm going to do is take off my Lazy Kate, which is out of the view right now, but I'll tip you down so see it. There's my Lazy Kate. I'm going to put these 2 plies on there. I'm going to feed them through, well, I'm actually going to thread them onto my starter string. There we go. We're going to pull this through, threading my machine. There, now that's out. And then I take these 2 ends off of the each of my bobbins. And I'm going to start them at the same time. But the other change I'm going to make is that I'm going to spin my wheel instead of clockwise, I'm going to spin it counterclockwise. Now, you may see it differently in your camera, but the key is just the opposite direction to which I spun each ply. So, I got to control this. Oh, and I failed to control this. Getting started is probably one of the harder parts of this job. I'm going to move this thread, my starter thread, up to the front if I can. I didn't put these starter threads on. My friend Kathy that I got this wheel from did it for me. So it's way in the back and I could use a longer one. All right, we're gonna put this on here a little higher up. And then I'm gonna spin it. Oh, come on. All right, I gotta loosen the tension because it's pulling really hard in the draw. There we go, that's better. There we go. The first little bit's not gonna be pretty, but now I let it go in. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go in. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is going to be a loose ply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's check the ply and see if I like it. I think I'm gonna up the ply just a little bit. So I'll do about 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw it in. And now onto a niddynoddy so that we can set this twist. I've filled a bobbin and I only have one spare. I know I own large bobbins, but I don't have it. I've got bulky flyers somewhere, but I do not know where it is. And I just got out the wheel, so I just go in with that. Niddynoddy, turned at right angles. So this one is at right angles to this one. And then you put it on and you put your hand inside, and it's a fold. So around the top, around the bottom, and then around the top on the other side. So that you end up with sort of a V shape over your niddynoddy. This niddynoddy, by the way, is PVC. You could make one yourself, but I happen to sell them in the shop for a nominal fee, and Les Conrad made them for me. And what's great about them is, one, they come apart. Two, they're plastic, so that when I soak this skein, I can just put this whole thing in water and it's absolutely fine. I would not do that with my Kromsky Nice Wood one. And it's nice because less thwacking is needed, because this is now under tension when I get it wet and set the twist. So I do really like the PVC niddynoddies, and I would take one over the fancy wooden ones, frankly. I do own a couple, but this PVC I use way more often. All right, so I have 328 yards, which is probably DK weight. It may go up into worsted weight periodically, but it's mostly DK weight of yarn to make something with. I think I have more than enough for the hat, because usually 220 is enough. So we'll see, but 328 is enough, and I'm going to pair it up. Maybe I'm going to take a dark brown PCC wool with me so that I have Faroese wool and PCC wool, and that'll at least give me an opportunity to be creative and figure it out. But spun it, wound it on the niddynoddy. I have not set this twist yet, and I could have left it on the niddynoddy, but I ended up with 3 spools and I would have to wind it all on here at once. Instead, I'm just going to soak this in the sink with some little bit of soap, because it still has vegetable matter in it, clearly by what's on my pants. I'm going to wash it with some soap, rinse it. Well, actually, first I'm going to tie it up. I only have 1 tie on each of these. So I'm going to go grab some twine and tie up 3 on each skein. Very important. Don't leave my mistakes in the past. So I'm going to tie up in 3 to 4 spots with some kitchen twine. I'm going to soak this in the sink with some soap. I'm going to rinse it, and then I wish I could hang it outside from the line with weights on it to pull it down, but I will not be able to put this out on the line. So I'm probably going to have to take it into my shower and hang it in there somewhere, somehow, with a weight on it. Usually a bottle, just a gentle weight, not too much, not too little, so a little bit like a Windex bottle that's partially used up, something like that, to pull some weight on it, or whatever else I can find that offers me a little bit of weight. And then I'll let it dry, and then it will be ready to knit off of, or to wind into balls and then knit off of. But that's it, 328 yards. I will show you that I am not the finest, most even spinner in the world. I definitely still make rustic yarn. This is finer than I was ever able to do on the Sonata, because I think the double drive, and it's a very smooth wheel to use. But it is still not perfect. I don't care. I like rustic yarn. So this is what I'm going to have for my trip. One thing to go in the suitcase. All right. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'm glad I'm back. I will try and get you some more videos ready to go, and there will not be such a big pause. I can't guarantee it, but I'll try. I will see you in some form, even if it's pre-recorded, on... Today's Thursday, so your next video will be Monday uploaded from, well, you're probably not going to get a video from the UK, but I will be in the UK creating more content for you, I hope. All right, bye.